Hello, I'm Umbrasite.
And I'm Melodious Nocturne.
Today we'll be reading Whispering Woods, which I believe will be about woods that whisper sweet nothings into your ear.
Gonna go Slender Man.
When in doubt, always go Slender Man.
It's true.
It was a local legend my grandmother grew up hearing. There was a secret society, what some would call a cult, in the woods surrounding the town. Bowerville, Maine.
Did you ever watch Are You Afraid of the Dark when you were a kid?
No.
That's the vibe I'm getting right now. Just this cult is just, what was that, like the Midnight Society or whatever? Just a bunch of like 10-year-olds sitting around a campfire telling stories that then at the end sometimes have a really creepy thing happen to make them go, oh shit, that's a doll hand. That was legit?
It's for real, this story. It actually happened to me once.
You personally?
Yes. I don't even know what the story is yet. In the woods surrounding the town, Bowerville, Maine. Sort of a typical story. Basically made up so kids will behave. One version of the story said the cult abducted kids who didn't behave. Not many believed it. Only a spare few did. It was just one of those stories you tell surrounding the campfire on a late night during summertime. It was what I did. There were 3 different versions. The one my grandmother claimed was the real one, the one everyone told at sleepovers, and the one to scare kids. Only once was the cult ever considered in a disappearance of a kid in Bowerville, and that was back in the late 80s, early 90s, during the satanic ritual abuse scare, a moral plague-like panic. A girl was kidnapped and found 2 days later, raped, head and hands cut off to prevent from identifying her. To this day, no one knows who she is, or was.
Presumably it would be the small child that disappeared around that time.
You'd think so.
I would think that would narrow it down slightly. How many young girls is this town losing in a day?
A lot like to run away from Bowerville, Maine. About 10 a week.
Seems legit.
They're actually running out of women. They will not survive the turn of the century. By that I mean they're gone by the time the story reaches today.
Gotcha.
It's just like 2 old guys just remembering that one time where they saw a woman pass by in a car once. She flipped on the bird and kept driving.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Town's gone.
Sounds like it.
Cheap rent, though. A lot of people brought up that maybe the legendary cult in the woods may have something to do with. They're missing a word.
What the fuck?
It's this short and they're missing a word. Proofreading.
Am I right?
Am I right? The police finally gave in and went into the woods looking for the cult. They claimed they never found anyone, but my dad told me that some of them came out of the woods very shaken. Suspiciously, one of the officers died 4 weeks later. I never believed the legend myself. I just always thought that it was just a story, nothing more, nothing less. Of course, that was until I went into the woods, on a dare, and heard the whispers.
On the one hand, this is made less creepy for me, because I know enough about history to know that no one ever really got ritualistically sacrificed during that satanic ritual scare, which was an actual thing that happened, by the way. On the other hand, that does sound like another thing I heard once. Except instead of woods, it was a old-timey abandoned hotel and whatnot. So, yeah.
That's alright.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Pretty sure they should have been able to identify the missing girl, though, given that,
Given that, like I said, unless there are a significant number of little girls disappearing from your town, I feel like you should be able to narrow it down.
You think them knowing that the girl was kidnapped and missing for 2 days would lead them to probably know who the girl with the missing hands and feet are.
I mean, there were so many girls kidnapped that week. It's hard to keep track of all of them.
It was one crazy party. I don't think we really have much to say about this one. It's short, it's alright.
I'm kind of surprised that it was straight up missing a word when it's like, what is that, 3 paragraphs?
Yeah, that was weird. What was it?
3rd paragraph, I believe. To do with.
Yeah. It's kind of weird that they're missing a word there.
A lot of people brought up
that maybe the legendary and the cold in the woods may have something to do with the disappearance, the murder, the rape. It's missing that word.
Yeah, or at the very least, it's missing it.
Yeah, it.
Like,
the disturbance.
I think this is the sign right now that this one's just kind of mediocre.
Yeah, we don't have much to say.
I think that's generally the sign where we have to kind of go on a weird little tangent like that. That's kind of the sign that it's mediocre. Which probably isn't that good. Also, it doesn't really set itself up to be creepy that much, in my opinion, because it's
like trying to build up to the like creepy punch at the end, and
then all it is then I went into the woods and heard whispering.
Okay,
that's cool.
That could be any number of things. It could just be you misheard the wind.
Also, because it's not really that relatable since he's in, what was it, Bowerville or whatever,
Bowerville, Maine.
So that's
the heartland of America.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, unless you're from Bowerville, Maine, it's a
very specific story.
Yeah, in that case...
Which can't be bad, it's just...
In that case, I would argue they needed to be a little bit more vague.
Yeah.
Because if they hadn't added in the part about Bowerville, Maine, like, they were just like, yeah, my town where I grew up or whatever, then it's like, oh, well, that could be any woods. That makes it slightly more relatable, because it could be your woods that you grew up next to. You know, that one that you walked into that one time and then left quickly because there were creepy whisperings.
Or you felt something odd, something staring in the middle of your back.
So, I guess for those reasons, I wouldn't recommend it that highly, personally.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really build up to much.
It builds up to, he hears whispers.
In the woods. And then apparently got out to write this down, so...
I didn't believe in this story until I heard whispering, and then I believed in the cult. Because that is the first thing I should think of when I hear whispering in the woods.
Yeah, it's just...
Well, we've probably talked in circles enough about this one, so thank you all for joining us.
Yep, thanks for watching.